Welcome to today's podcast.
Hi everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Today we'll cover these key vocabularies: chopsticks, class, lower class, middle class, upper class, and working class, with detailed examples to help you master them.
Chopsticks, noun plural. Chopsticks are paired slender sticks used in many East Asian cultures to pick up food. I learned to use chopsticks when I traveled to Tokyo. They're essential utensils in Japanese dining culture.
She balanced sushi on her chopsticks with steady hands. Mastering that skill shows precision in handling food.
He practiced using metal chopsticks for weeks before the festival. Different materials require repeated practice to handle well.
Many restaurants provide disposable wooden chopsticks for hygiene. Single-use chopsticks help maintain cleanliness.
She snapped the wooden chopsticks apart and began eating noodles. That's how wrapped chopsticks are separated before use.
He watched a tutorial on using bamboo chopsticks gracefully. Learning proper technique improves dining etiquette.
She carried her own lacquered chopsticks in a silk case. Reusable chopsticks are eco-friendly and stylish.
He struggled to pick up peas with slender plastic chopsticks. The width and material greatly affect ease of use.
She tapped her chopsticks impatiently on the bowl's rim. In many cultures, that's considered poor etiquette.
They clinked their metal chopsticks together in celebration. Clinking them can be a playful sign of festivity.
He rested his chopsticks on the holder beside his plate. Proper placement shows respect for table manners.
She compared the weight of bamboo and plastic chopsticks. Sensory differences between materials can affect comfort.
He dropped the last dumpling while balancing with chopsticks. That highlights the precision required for delicate foods.
She taught her friend how to hold the chopsticks correctly. Sharing proper technique helps others dine confidently.
He showed off his skill by twirling noodles with chopsticks. That styling move signals confidence at the table.
She cleaned her reusable chopsticks after every meal. Good hygiene practices keep personal utensils safe.
He brought ceramic rests to support his chopsticks at lunch. Using rests helps maintain table cleanliness.
She admired the intricate carving on antique ivory chopsticks. Some chopsticks are crafted as objects of art.
He demonstrated how not to cross the chopsticks while eating. Crossing them is taboo in many cultures.
She mastered using small coated chopsticks at home. Practice at home builds muscle memory for dining skill.
He noticed the glossy finish improved grip on those chopsticks. Surface texture can make a big difference in handling. Class, noun. Class refers to a group sharing characteristics or to a scheduled lesson session in school. She attended her first French class yesterday morning. That shows class as an educational session.
They waited outside the yoga class for the instructor to arrive. It highlights a scheduled group activity.
He earned high marks in his economics class this term. Performance can be evaluated within an academic session.
The history class discussion focused on modern revolutions. That conveys the specific topic covered.
They formed study groups after every challenging class. Collaborative learning helps reinforce new concepts.
She booked a makeup class to improve her skills. The term extends to practical workshops as well.
He skipped the last 2 hours of science class to finish a project. Attendance may change based on personal priorities.
She reviewed her notes before entering math class. Preparation before lessons boosts understanding.
The art class displayed student paintings in the gallery. Exhibitions can showcase class creations.
He signed up for a cooking class at the community center. Recreational learning also falls under class.
She invited her friend to join a pottery class with her. Learning is often more fun with friends.
He asked questions during the lecture portion of class. Active participation deepens knowledge.
The teacher ended the class with a review of key points. Summaries ensure clarity at the session's close.
She borrowed her sister's notes to catch up on missed class. Peer support fills gaps from absences.
He organized his textbooks by class and date. Systematic organization aids efficient study.
They posted the class schedule on the bulletin board. Clear schedules help everyone plan ahead.
She practiced vocabulary from her English class every day. Daily reinforcement cements learning.
He changed his major after the first class in philosophy. Early experiences can shape academic choices.
The lecture hall filled up quickly before class started. Students arrive early to secure good seats.
She checked the online portal for updates on her class. Technology streamlines course management.
Lower class, noun phrase. Lower class describes the socioeconomic group with the least wealth and status. He grew up in the lower class neighborhood near the docks. That situates someone within a working poor community.
She studied the challenges faced by the lower class in urban areas. Academic work often highlights these issues.
He felt overlooked by politicians who focus on the middle and upper classes, not the lower class. That shows perceived neglect by leaders.
She volunteered at a food bank serving the lower class families. Charitable work often addresses basic needs.
He discussed income inequality and its impact on the lower class. Socioeconomic discourse centers on disparities.
She documented living conditions in a lower class apartment complex. Housing disparity is a major concern.
He wrote a novel featuring characters from the lower class. Literature can bring attention to underprivileged lives.
She donated clothes to shelters that assist the lower class. Practical help supports disadvantaged groups directly.
He noted that education opportunities for the lower class are limited. Barriers to schooling hinder social mobility.
She organized a fundraiser to support lower-class students. Community efforts can improve access to education.
He observed that healthcare access for the lower class remains inadequate. Medical inequities negatively affect health.
She painted murals in a lower-class district to boost morale. Art can uplift and inspire community pride.
He researched how environmental hazards disproportionately affect the lower class. Environmental justice addresses such imbalances.
She filmed a documentary on the struggles of the lower class. Media can raise awareness of real-world issues.
He cited statistics about poverty rates among the lower class. Data-driven analysis highlights the scope of the problem.
She lobbied for minimum wage increases to benefit the lower class. Policy advocacy aims to improve living standards.
He shared stories of resilience within the lower class. Personal narratives showcase strength amid hardship.
She included interviews with lower-class residents in her article. Direct voices lend authenticity to reporting.
He emphasized the need for policies that uplift the lower class. Targeted reforms can promote economic equity.
She collected stories from lower-class artisans sharing traditional crafts. Cultural heritage preserves community identity.
He connected with lower-class youth through community art projects. Engagement fosters empowerment and creativity. Middle class, noun phrase. Middle class refers to the socioeconomic group between lower and upper classes, often with moderate income and education.
She grew up in a comfortable middle-class household with 2 cars. That reflects typical stable living conditions.
He wrote a report on how globalization affects the middle class. Economic trends greatly impact moderate earners.
She attends private school because her family is firmly middle class. That shows available resources determine choices.
He aimed to buy a home that would keep him within the middle class. Homeownership is a common middle-class aspiration.
She noted that healthcare costs weigh heavily on the middle class. Medical bills often strain moderate budgets.
He analyzed tax policies that reward the middle class. Fiscal measures can support this economic group.
She filmed a vlog about daily life in a typical middle-class suburb. Personal narratives reveal everyday realities.
He studied how rising rents impact the middle class in cities. Housing affordability remains a key concern.
She joined a credit union favored by the middle class. Banking choices often align with budget considerations.
He surveyed middle-class families about their vacation habits. Discretionary spending patterns reveal lifestyle priorities.
She observed that the middle class often balances saving and spending carefully. Financial decisions require constant trade-offs.
He found that many middle-class workers rely on 2 incomes. Dual-earner households are increasingly common.
She profiled a middle-class teacher in her podcast episode. Individual stories bring the group's experiences to life.
He investigated how inflation erodes middle-class purchasing power. Rising prices directly affect everyday budgets.
She praised policies aimed at strengthening the middle-class economy. Supportive legislation can bolster moderate incomes.
He surveyed how the middle class perceives job security post-pandemic. Employment stability concerns remain high.
She noted that education loans burden many middle-class students. Debt challenges complicate financial planning.
He documented shifts in middle-class consumer preferences. Market demands constantly evolve with incomes.
She compared middle-class lifestyles across different countries. Cultural contexts shape what middle class means.
He concluded that a strong middle class underpins societal stability. A healthy middle class supports social cohesion. Upper class, noun phrase. Upper class denotes the socio-economic group with the highest wealth, status, and influence.
He attended an elite boarding school typical of the upper class. Prestigious education often marks high status.
She inherited a mansion that cemented her place in the upper class. Wealth passed through generations defines social standing.
He wore tailored suits that signal his upper-class standing. Fashion choices can act as visible status symbols.
She mingled with international diplomats at the upper-class gala. High-profile events reflect exclusive circles.
He invested in art collections common among the upper class. Luxury expenditures showcase financial freedom.
She vacationed on private yachts favored by the upper class. Exclusive leisure highlights wealth disparities.
He sent his children to tutors to maintain upper-class education. Specialized services ensure continued privilege.
She hosted fundraisers in her sprawling upper-class estate. Charitable galas often take place in grand settings.
He donated millions to museums that cater to the upper class. Philanthropy can reinforce social influence.
She attended charity balls where the upper class gathered. Social rituals cement elite networks.
He owned several luxury cars as an upper-class hobby. Collecting expensive items reflects discretionary wealth.
She wore designer gowns exclusive to the upper class. High-end fashion brands signify affluence.
He consulted private bankers typical for the upper class. Specialized financial services manage great wealth.
She traveled first class on every flight due to her upper-class means. Luxury travel options demonstrate status.
He hosted lavish dinners that define upper-class hospitality. Extravagant entertaining is common among elites.
She sat on boards of prestigious institutions with fellow upper-class peers. Leadership roles often go to influential figures.
He wintered at exclusive resorts favored by the upper class. Seasonal retreats reinforce social separation.
She collected rare wines that signify upper-class taste. Fine collectibles mark refined preferences.
He arranged marriages within the upper-class social circle. Strategic alliances strengthened elite continuity.
She engaged in philanthropic travel with other upper-class families. Combining charity and leisure reflects privileged lifestyles. Working class, noun phrase. Working class refers to the socio-economic group performing manual or service labor, often earning hourly wages. He labored in a factory as part of the working class. Industrial labor defines many working-class jobs.
She researched health outcomes among the working class. Studies often highlight laborer well-being concerns.
He joined a union to protect working-class rights. Collective bargaining is a common advocacy method.
She balanced two jobs reflecting her working-class reality. Economic necessity often drives multiple employments.
He bought affordable housing typical for the working class. Cost-effective living arrangements are common.
She discussed childcare challenges faced by the working class. Access to support services remains an issue.
He commuted long hours on public transit as a working-class worker. Transportation burdens affect daily life.
She highlighted workplace safety for the working class. Occupational health remains a priority in manual labor.
He saved tips from restaurant shifts to help his working-class family. Supplemental income can be vital.
She documented wages earned by the working class in the report. Compensation data reveals economic realities.
He attended vocational training common among the working class. Skills development pathways support career growth.
She faced job insecurity that affects many in the working class. Employment precarity is a widespread concern.
He balanced overtime demands as a working-class electrician. Extended labor hours constrain personal life.
She advocated for living wages for the working class. Policy efforts aim to raise income floors.
He relied on community programs supporting the working class. Social services often provide essential aid.
She described pride in her working-class heritage. Cultural identity can be a source of strength.
He shared stories of factory life among the working class. Personal narratives bring labor experiences to life.
She noted that automation threatens some working-class jobs. Technological changes can displace workers.
He praised skilled trades that define the working class. Manual professions require valuable expertise.
She joined workshops to uplift working-class workers. Training programs aim to improve career prospects.
We hope these examples help you feel confident using these words in everyday conversations.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. See you next time.
Goodbye and happy learning.